ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world.
And then Tay just put your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro.
South Africa. It's the morning shake powered by the Inside Show, and it's one of the best pods in the world. What's good?
Nah, good. Clayton's just checking up some stuff here this morning. The internet was giving us a run around. Didn't want to switch on. There was a bunch going on. But we're good now. Hopefully it doesn't freak out on us anytime in the show. But if it does, guys, please just note that it has been giving us a little bit of a run around. But we should be good. But let's get it going, man. I'm excited for today's show. We got some interesting points that we want to mention today. Yo, what's going on? Why is this thing busy going? Doom, 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 yeah. We got some interesting points that we want to touch on today. Clayton, are you on? Is your mic on? Or you still trying to make sure everything is running there? Are you?
I'm on.
You're on. Okay, right? What's happening, broski, on your side?
Nah, we good. It's Monday morning. Let's get into it.
Let's get it.
100%. So I know we have a jam-packed show, bro, in terms of the points that we want to get through. We've been on this tip of just bettering ourselves, bro, for the betterment, of course, and just making it in life, bro. Going from point A to point B and understanding within that gap, there's going to be a lot of challenges, a lot of trials, which is worth it at the end of the day. And we're going to unpack all those points here this morning. But let's speak about the weekend and not to speak too much about it, but yes, we will speak because obviously with football, we're on preseason and so forth on. But, rugby, the Springboks ran out 55-10 winners over Georgia. That's an emphatic victory.
I actually watched a little bit of that.
You watched a bit of that?
Yeah.
That's dope. Another thing that I would love to celebrate is our Springboks under 20 rugby team.
Apparently those guys are
claimed
fire.
the world. Bro, never mind fire, bro. We claimed the world Rugby under 20 championship, defeating New Zealand this past weekend, bro. 23.
Nice
we
one.
champions, under 20 champions, and the top dogs champions.
Nice.
So yeah, bro, our boys are doing absolutely amazing, bro. Which is obviously exciting to see in our country, and yeah, bro. There's a lot of promising things taking place. I know our football is picking up as well, bro. In the UFC, we also number one in the world. That's a very good thing, bro. Very, very, very good thing, bro. In cricket, we also dominating as well, which is good. And yes, bro, Formula One.
Nothing this weekend, bro.
Nothing this weekend.
I think it's a mid-season break.
Okay.
But nothing this weekend.
So a lot of sports has that.
So yeah, they do have that break, but some big news in Formula One. I think we touched on it last week, where the guy that brought Max Verstappen. So Formula One, you got Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. They like the Cristiano Ronaldo and the Lionel Messi's. Like it's like that. Like you either have a big fan, like that big debate of who's better, this one or this. So that's how it is in Formula One. You got Verstappen and Hamilton. So now, like I explained to you last week, is they're switching, like basically switching coaches now at this point. So obviously the guy that got Verstappen his 4 victories is a guy named Christian Horner, and he's now leaving Red Bull and actually going over to Ferrari. That's the chat now. And obviously, if he comes over to Ferrari, that's where Hamilton is now. And so now it's like a weird switch over where you got my previous rival is now going to be my new coach, that kind of thing. So
Looking forward to that.
So that's going to happen soon. And then Verstappen is also threatening to leave Red Bull altogether to go over to Mercedes, which is now, again, the other swap where he was under Toto Wolff, which is the guy that runs at Mercedes. Now Verstappen's going to be under Hamilton's old boss, and Hamilton's going to be under Verstappen's old boss. So they're basically swapping. So I don't know where that's going to leave Red Bull. Red Bull was dominating the charts for the past probably 4 seasons, bro. 1. They were beating everyone, bro. And like by a long shot. Like long shot, bro. Verstappen was lapping gents, bro. Like passing the gents twice. So they were on top of the A game. This season, McLaren is on top of the A game. 2 young gents, bro. Lando Norris and can't remember the other gent's name. But the young, bro, like 20. The one gent was like 18. Other guys like 20. Young millionaires, bro. Multi-millionaires just from the sports game.
Which is
Same
across
like,
the board, bro.
Same as how it is in football, yeah.
It's across the board.
So these gents have been pushing. They've been dominating the whole season. Since the beginning of the season, they're still on top 1 and 2. And so they've been dominating. And so it's interesting to see how this next race, I think they're racing this coming weekend.
Okay.
To see if because Lewis Hamilton almost took his first podium for the whole season. I mean, bro, it's already halfway through the year. He hasn't got 1 podium. This is a 7-time world champion that's normally supposed to be on that podium all the time. He hasn't been on the podium once this year, bro. Not even once by chance. So he was almost on the podium 2 weeks ago, and then it looks like this weekend.
The saying goes, leave the football before the football leaves you.
Bruh. And he's 40. Hamilton's 41 or 40 years old this year. And obviously these ladies are like 18, 19.
but bro, that's the trend across the board, bro. The youngsters are coming up and dominating in sports. It is what it is. Sports has a window period where once you get to the latter stages, once you get to the latter stages, age-wise, in that window period, it's inevitable that you start obviously fading out respectfully, but we still obviously honor.
But bro, don't even sleep on Hamilton, bro. He's still
not at all.
He's obviously older, but he's still up there, bro.
Lionel Messi won a World Cup in his late mid-30s.
You see, so Hamilton's still up there, bro. He almost took a podium last.
But I'm speaking in terms of dominating.
Bruh,
I'm not speaking about the exception.
I think he can.
Or you have 1 podium the whole year. I'm speaking about dominating.
I think he can dominate. I think he can dominate. The car that is being given is a swap.
An entire season. How many, like an entire season, you think he can dominate? And again, I'm not speaking against the guy. By all means, if he does it, this is a legend of the sport that we're speaking about, whom we honor and respect. But I'm just saying, there's a window period.
Nah, facts, and I agree with you. Definitely agree with you. But yeah, what other sports do you have there, bro?
Clayton, any about the weekends on your side? Anyone caught slacking?
Yeah, bro. I got someone that caught slacking.
Anyone that was caught slacking nice and cold and didn't know how to play the game?
Explain.
What are you? Are we talking about the same thing? What are you talking about?
Yeah, he was caught cold and didn't know how to play the game, and he got caught slacking.
The gent at the Coldplay concert. The gent at the Coldplay concert, bro. Bro, got caught slacking big time. Big time. Thoughts on that, bro?
Explain hy man dak nadat hy gesien is. Plus is die een van die singers sê they probably cheat. So waar hulle cheat. Yeah.
Well, that guy said it live on
He
stage,
said it,
Jay, bro.
yeah.
But he was joking.
It's either you shy or you
busy cheating. Or you busy having an affair.
fair.
That gent was caught slacking big time, bro.
Would you keep your composure in that moment?
Bro, this is my argument. This is my argument.
Okay.
My argument is, if homie kept his composure, it wouldn't have went viral. Do you agree or do you disagree?
I agree. Because it's the thoughts that I was thinking about this past weekend.
What do you think, Clayton?
Keep your
If
composure.
homie kept his composure, it wouldn't have been anything
the
to
duck
post
and
about.
dive that-
It's the fact that they were ducking and
Both
diving
of
the way
them,
they
not
did.
just
That's what
one.
made everyone say,
And then the HR or manager or so was now looking at this and also smiling and laughing because she knows, like, yo, nah.
Slice.
HD, bro. Caught in 4K, bro. You're caught in 4K.
It was at that moment he knew.
It was at that point he knew. Now I want to ask the comment section real quick, guys. Do you think if the guy played it cool, if he carried on just smiling and hugging her, nobody would have been none the world? Because now I knows who this guy is.
And we're not saying it's right. We're not.
No. The whole thing's still wrong. But I'm saying the reason it went viral the way it did was because of how they responded. That is like, they call it the Streisand effect, right?
Okay.
So the Streisand effect is that apparently somebody took a picture of Barbara Streisand's house because they were taking a picture of the beach. And it just so happened that her house was you could see the house in the picture of the beach because it was an environmental issue about the fact that they were talking about the erosion of the beach and whatever. So there was a shot that one of these environmental guys took of the beach, but our house was in the back of the beach. And so she felt that they're exposing her house. But nobody knew it was her house, and nobody cared that it was her house. Then she tried to sue the photographer for taking the picture. Then the photographer said, hey, hold on, we were speaking about the beach. Nobody even knew that was your house. But because she sued him and because the lawsuit became so popular, everyone was like, oh, so that's her house. And now they call it the Streisand effect. Like, you triggered something that people wouldn't have known if you just kept quiet. So the same thing happened to this gent. It's like you behaved the way you did, that people wouldn't have even thought anything of it. But because you behave that way, everyone was like, oh, what's going on here?
Looked a lot deeper into the situation.
That made people want to look into it, that they wouldn't have looked into it otherwise. Thoughts, gents?
Nah, I think he obviously caught an L regardless, bro. I just don't know why. And yeah, let me be a little bit flippant. I don't know why he got caught L with an older lady, though, bro. Usually CEOs of that magnitude and status would be with a youngin'.
And apparently
and
his wife is pretty,
I was just about to say, and if you look back at the ranch, which we don't know the situation at home, what the setup is, but on surface level and by the looks of it, bro, the wife is drop dead gorgeous with I think 2 or 3 beautiful kids. So, but regardless, bro.
Because they say he was caught slacking with like an older lady that's not even as good looking as his wife.
Not close, bro. Not close. Not close, bro. So it's just a sad reality that you went for the 80-20.
Yeah, that was a big time.
Yeah,
80-20.
bro. That's a
But do you think Omi can recover from this, bro? Clayton, what's your thoughts? You think he can recover?
I think he resigned first and foremost, but yeah.
He can recover, but it's gonna take a lot, my bro. You know, like once trust is broken, to regain that trust is a difficult one. But it's untidy because now you remember there's repercussions to every action. Now he had to resign. Now he has to fix stuff at home there, the embarrassment for his wife and his children, my bro, because this is international. It's an international blunder. He was trending right around the world. My bro, he's a meme at this point.
He's a meme. Did you even see at the Boca game?
My bro.
When the kiss cam went around. And the one jet was like...
Hey, bro.
It's a meme at this point. But you know what the weird part is? It's like a meme, but it's a real story, bro.
100%.
And the wife... Bro, it's real for the wife, bro. It's like it's embarrassing.
It's
Apparently, she took her social media platforms down. He also removed himself from LinkedIn. They changed the website of the company immediately, like same night. That's mad embarrassing, bro. And it's more embarrassing for him than it is for her. And apparently, she's married also.
The
lady that he was...
She just got divorced, I think.
The lady that he was cheating on with. The HR manager.
Yeah, they said she got divorced.
She recently
earlier,
got divorced,
like maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
Well, now they both divorced.
It's a cold play, my bro.
Yeah, bro. Good morning to the peeps online. Hey, Tadaso. I don't want to butcher any names. Serial. What's up? And then we have Llewellyn. Good morning, gents. Happy Monday. What's good?
Yeah. So talking about top 10 things that people do that messes up their personal life.
That's one of them.
Their spiritual life and their professional growth. That's literally one of them. Don't cheat, bro. Don't cheat. Bro, did you know there was a website that I found out about? I knew about it for a while, but I saw it like yesterday on a video where married people can... It's like a married version of Tinder, bro.
What the heck?
Imagine that, bro. And it's only for married people, so you can go and cheat there. I'm like, why? So you helping people to cheat? That's unfair.
But remember, the world is... We obviously come from a Christian perspective, bro. The world is to a large degree, a cold play. A cold place.
Coldplay concert.
I didn't mean to do that. A cold place. It's a cold place. We know of a lot of psychologists that actually say, yo, separate for the next couple of months or so and figure it out and then come back. A lot of people will also go for a different partner, and this one goes for a different partner where they actually have mutual agreements to it and see how we figure it out at the end of the day. So I know we on the one hand, it's like, because we know the devices of the enemy and how if you go into certain things, this is the end result. But a lot of people don't necessarily know those things, bro.
But here's the thing, though, about that. You know, we come from a Christian perspective, right? And so we understand that it's not right. And it's also because we come from a Christian perspective, there's a moral standing on that issue and on that topic, which we understand that, hey, this is not what you should be doing, right? But even though you're saying that the world is a cold place, which is true, and even though they try to push this narrative that, no, it's normal, and, you know, everyone does it, and this
open relationships.
Open relationship. Bro, if you look at what happened with Will and Jada, it still causes damage in a marriage.
100%.
If you look at what happens in all these cases where there's this one guy that reads out people's Reddit stories, like cheating stories, right? And he sits there and he reads out people because he was cheated on and he divorced his wife. So now he started a whole YouTube channel where he just reads out people's stories, right? If you listen to the stories that guy reads, all the time, these open relationships or these like, no, you can be with other people, it never ends up working out in the end, ever. All the stories that he read and all the stories, he even says all the stories he knows about that they try to make this some sort of arrangement that, okay, now we can see other people. It always ends up someone catching feelings. It always ends up someone feeling like, nah, let's close our relationship. Because it was never meant to be that way. That's why somewhere, somehow along the line, someone's going to start feeling some type of way like, nah, man, I actually don't want this. If you look at Will and Jada, that's like, no, we said it's okay, we can be with other people, da da da. Next thing you know, the man is crying. Next thing you know, he's slapping Chris Rock for his wife. It's like, but you said it's okay when other people are doing things, and now you're catching feelings when, you know, when this is the case. So
True.
There's even an argument that goes out that says Chris Rock tried something with Jada because he thought they were done. That's somebody that made up that story. I don't know if it's legit or not, but that's the story that's running around as well. But what I'm saying is that even though you try to make it seem natural and you try to make, no, there's nothing wrong in this, people catch feelings, bro.
100%. We emotional beings at the end of the day, bro. We're human. We're not, we're not robots. And it definitely is a punch knowing that a young August is catching a vibe with your wife.
Your son's
on
friend.
on the other side of the house.
It's untidy, bro. But anyways, point number one, Clayton, failure, fear of failure altogether. Thoughts, bro. Fear of failure altogether. You avoid trying something because you're scared that it's going to fail. So you don't even take the risk.
That one starts off like this. You're afraid, so you stop trying. It's paralyzing. So like the fear of failure normally does this. You know, like you start overthinking. You stay in your head because you know, like, if I try, it's not going to work. And if it doesn't work, people are going to laugh at me. You know, like that, the whole mind game of failing. You haven't failed, so there's no fruit for you to say, okay, nah, that failed, nah, let me try again until I succeed. So now the fear of that stops you from even trying. I think that one is the worst for anyone, even a procrastinator. I think that's the thing that stops you from doing anything.
Which is point number two. But before we go to point number two, Jay, what's your thoughts on fear of failure, bro?
Yeah, we were obviously having a chat off air, bro, and we were just speaking about, bro, the voyage and the journey of life is actually so interesting, and it's nice to be up for the challenge. It's like be up for the challenge in terms of how do I connect these dots? How do I connect the dots that aren't making sense? How do I connect these dots that are failing, the dots that are where there's triumph? How does it make sense together? But a lot of people don't think that way. And I was asking you the question genuinely, like, why do people have that fear of failure, bro? Which I Googled some points, bro, and it's literally what Clayton is saying now. The fear of judgment or shame. Might be perfectionism, might be the fear of consequences, low self-worth, past trauma or conditioning, the fear of the unknown, cultural or family pressure, So there's all these elements
One is
that
also comfort, my bro.
comfort, which we are gonna,
Comfort is a big one, yeah. But I think we're gonna get to it,
there
right?
is a point
Yeah.
within the segment that
So,
we're gonna get to.
literally all the points coincide, right? They go together because fear of failure is, or like Clayton was mentioning, procrastination, the element of comfort leads to that. Like, hey, do I try something else? I'm comfortable with where I am. I know that this is working, so I'm not gonna try anything else. Do you think that that's the reason a lot of people just stick to the 9 to 5? They're like, if I try something else, I might fail at this, so let me just stick to my 9 to 5.
Safer.
It's safer. I know I get my salary at the end of the month.
You can budget off
I
of
can
that.
budget off
and
of
then
it,
me work myself
and then
up the.
I can figure it out as I go, and that's it. At least I know every month I'm getting. But you're unhappy with where you are. You're not happy with the circumstance. You're struggling financially, but you're so scared to try something else. Like, no, let me just stay where I am. At least I know where I am. But that's the point of comfort. Let's go to.
I just wanna read a few things here, bro. And this is in the sporting arena, bro. We know that Usain Bolt trained for 20 years, but you only saw him for 9.58 seconds, bro. Kobe Bryant made 1,000 shots a day during practice, but we saw him win 5 times the NBA championship. Our beloved friend Thomas Edison tested 1,000 prototypes before inventing the light bulb, but we saw a man who lit up the world. And there's a lot of other interesting and inspiring stories here, where there's a lot of the things that is done behind the scenes, where there is failure and so forth on, but
that you don't see. But even look at your sorry, just Matt is busy saying that it's raining in Cape Town. I think he's probably in Cape Town. And then okay. So
good morning from the mother city.
Nice.
Morning,
Thank you for coming through.
Hello, all the mothers.
Amen.
So here's the so you sorry, Jay, what was that last point that you made there about the whole element about you don't see behind the scenes failure, right? And then and here's another issue that irritates me is that people run their mouths on when something actually eventually turns out and it works, right? And one of the issues for me is that you can't run your mouth when the thing is working for someone, but you don't know like you're saying, the training behind the scenes, the hours of training behind the scenes, and you only see 9 seconds, the 1,000 shots behind the scenes, and you only see one game, or the Edison example of how many times he failed, and then you only see the time when it works. And so we find in society that we judge people who are successful, or we say, how do they make it? Are they sleeping their way to the top? Are they are they doing something illegal? But those people woke up early in the morning. Those people sacrificed. Those people stood for what they stood for. Those people ran their race. Those people were consistent. Those people grind. Those people did what they had to do to get to where they are. And then society can turn around and say, yeah, what did they do to get there?
Or say you were overnight. And that's one of the big ones, like, where's this guy from?
But they don't know how many times you failed behind the scenes. And so for me personally, also in my personal life, bro, I failed miserably behind the scenes many times. But people only see the parts where you actually win. And we only show the parts where we win. We don't show the parts where we're losing.
True and and false.
That's a part of the process also, because no one is there. There's a thing that you always see if you open social media. Like it's a stand full of people cheering. That's the victory. But when you're alone, there's no one. It's an empty chairs, or empty stadium with you alone there. That's how it is in training. The supporters are never there in training, but when the games are played and the team wins, that's how it is. It's supposed to be like that, where the training is a private moment, because this is where you fight with yourself. And then when it is showtime, it's fighting against whoever the opponent is. And then that's where people see the victory. But obviously, in the training, they weren't there. I think if you look at it like that, derailed.
No, but you were just speaking about the fact that people say you're overnight success, but they don't see the challenges behind the scenes.
Yes, this is what I actually want to mention, bro. Is that, bro, the people are, weirdly enough, with how we just painting the picture here of everything now, bro, the whole success. It's funny, bro, that there's a lot of people that actually cling on to your story and to your journey.
Especially the tough ones. When
Bro,
you go through the anxieties.
99.999%, bro. Those are the ones, because we are living in a world where there's, bro, a lot of chaos, a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of moments where people are going through situations. And if I can see that there's a brother or sister that has been through the same thing and that has made it out of it, that's a beautiful testimony and story to cling on. So again, do what you got to do, fail, and there's this, I think you preached not so long ago, bro, the purpose in the dirt, which there is. It's a lot of purpose in the dirt.
You must fight through it. Let's go to point number 2, gents. Procrastination is the thief of time. Procrastination. This one is a big one. Putting things off. Now I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Something that helped me was when I read the book by Mel Robbins. I think it's Mel Robbins or Mel Robinson, where she speaks about the 5-second rule.
5-second rule.
Are you familiar with the 5-second rule, Clayton?
Yeah.
The 5-second rule is, if you have to do a task, count down
We know
5.
when you're eating and
If
then
you're
it
thinking
falls.
about it,
If you're eating the food
No,
falls.
I'm
it's
not
fine.
talking
I'm
about
kidding.
nothing for the devil, everything for God. Nothing fell on the floor. The devil
I'm
didn't
kidding.
leak
It's
it.
not that.
The devil didn't leak it. Remember when we were like, the devil leaked it. It fell
5
on the floor.
seconds.
Pick it
But
up,
I
pick
guess
it
that
up.
has
Plain and your ice cream falls and you pick it up.
Nah,
it's
not-
just stones.
not that. Not
Bite
that.
Just crunch.
At least it's a bit of texture. It's a bit of texture.
So
sprinkles.
we're talking about the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins is the fact that you count down in your head. If you have a task, you count down 5, 4, 3. You get up before 1. You must get up and get it done. So if you're thinking about, hey, I still have to phone, so 5, 4, 3. Hey, my brother, how you da. Sort it out same time. Hey, I still need to do it. 5, 4, 3. Get up, get it done. Hey, I need to go clean the garage. 5, 4, 3. You up, you go clean it. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get progress. But if you keep on procrastinating and leaving the thing like, I'll clean it tomorrow, I'll clean it next week, I'll do that another time, I must admit, sometimes I find myself guilty of the procrastination one. And that one is a killer. It's a silent killer, that one.
I think for me personally, bro, coupled with the 5-second rule, I think you still have to have a sense of order in terms of a to-do list. Because as much as you can do it now, there's certain moments where it's obviously it doesn't make sense to do it at that time. But I do get the essence of the
idea
message.
of get it done.
Yeah, get it done. Do what you got to do. But, bro, the one thing that has, freaking changed my life is, and it might seem super menial, but I can guarantee you not a lot of people have a to-do list or a diary. Not a lot of people have, hey, bro, this is your 10 tasks for the week or for the month ahead, depending on the magnitude of what it is, and see how you can get it done. Tick this off, tick that off. Okay, I got this done. So I think point A to cut out procrastination is get a to-do list. Get a to-do list, and every Monday or whenever you sit at the drawing board, write exactly, okay, this week I need to get this done. I need to get that done. And don't just live life
Every
by
day
the
as it
wind.
comes,
It's like you're just living life. And that's what happens when
you procrastinate. Let's thoughts on procrastination.
You're just a pro, my bro.
You
You are a pro at not doing the things. But yeah, like, hey, that one is crippling also because now you keep on putting stuff off. At the end of the week, you have more things to do where you could have done it. So, like, even with procrastination, the 5-second rule comes in. As a man thinketh, so he has to dollar. I would use the 5-second rule like that. As soon as I think about it, hey, let me somehow do it because I know if I don't do it now, later, I'm going to have a problem. Now, like I said, things pile up. It just moves. Your schedule just moves like this. You push it from day 1 to day 2, day 2 to day 3. Day 5, you have more things to worry or stress about if you don't do it the time that you think about it or if it comes up. So, yeah, I think that's the best way to tackle it. As soon as you think about it,
Get it
like
done.
the 5-second rule. As a man thinketh, so he has to dollar. Soma immediately.
Bro, don't you... Oh, apologies, bro.
No, I'm done.
Oh. Don't you feel... I feel a lot more stressed out and overwhelmed when chores and tasks aren't done.
Yeah, there's
I feel a lot... I'm like...
There's this nagging
I'm
feeling
more
that I was
stressed,
supposed to
like-
get this thing done. You feel better when it's done.
When you
You
tick the
feel
thing
like
off.
I've done this. I've achieved this thing, I'm done now. I can breathe. I know in my mind that I've achieved this thing and I'm done with it. There's a sense, the small achievements are the ones that get you to your victory. It's not, you see, and it goes back to the previous point. It's not this big victory that you get with this ultimate, like, yes, I made it. It's the small kind of build-ups towards it. It's the small, like, little everyday victories. Like you're saying, the 1,000 shots a day that nobody's seeing. The rehearsals a day that nobody's seeing. The run-throughs a day that nobody's seeing. That's where, when eventually everyone's there. Like, how many times when we're doing productions, we run through it, until we know it off by heart. But when everyone's in the room, that's where the applause comes. That's where it's like, these people executed. But if we haven't run through it, if the right people wasn't there, if the guy that was supposed to unmute the mic wasn't there on the day that we were rehearsing, and then the day everyone's there, he doesn't unmute the mic, that's, now it looks like unorganized, because we weren't running the tasks, we weren't doing the failure behind the scenes, so that when the people 100%. Are there, everything goes off smoothly and cleanly. But again, the challenge is that people don't see the behind the scenes issues. They don't see the behind the scenes failures. True. They don't see the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. They just see the finished product. And again, with procrastination or the comfort zone, is that you have to break the small little habits every day. Do the thing when it needs to be done. And then when time comes for showtime, you're in a better space. I've seen with my evening lives that I do, when I'm starting to prepare for my sermon, it's like I've been preparing it the whole week. So when I sit down to do my sermon, it's like, but I've been hitting points every night that's working towards the same theme. So it actually makes your life easier to do things. You see, it's the same like with school, where you study last minute. You know that way you have an exam in November. You leave everything until the night before. And then you want to tell me, hey, Pastor, I'm studying. I still have to study until. Because why were you not reading through the stuff the whole time? You didn't have the book. You didn't know this is going to be in. Every day come home, read a paragraph or read 2 pages or whatever. Then by time comes, when it's time for studying, you're basically just revising, reading through the things, refreshing your mind. But we leave the thing until last minute. Then now that time you want to sit now till 1 o'clock in the morning, cram things in. And you don't remember it when time comes to write the exam. And that's what we do with life also. We leave it for last minute, and then we fail when time comes to execute. But let's go to comfort zone. Did we touch comfort zone? Are we done with comfort zone?
Nah, not yet. We did procrastination.
So comfort zone, you stay in familiar routines and you avoid to break out.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, bro, because I've had a lot of people speak about the balance of life. Like, I have a balance to life and so forth on, bro, which is the truth. But I think on the come up, it shouldn't be balanced. It shouldn't be balanced. And I might be an ignorant youth saying this at this moment in time. There's a lot of people that I aspire to be at, where if you hear what they say and so forth on and how they talk, they speak about the grind. But the people that's not necessarily where you want to be, those are the people that speaks about a balanced life. For me, I'd much rather be in the war all the time, doing what I have to do to get to where I have. I don't understand, and this is respectfully, I don't understand people that speaks about you've been binge watching something and you're on the 15th season, episode 340, and all those episodes are 1 hour, 30 minutes. Maybe you're cool with where you at. That's what I'm saying respectfully, to each their own. Maybe you're cool with where you at. But to me personally, that's way too much comfort.
For me too.
That's way too much comfort.
Let me put some context to your, as you said, maybe I'm an ignorant youth. I would add another nuance to that.
Okay.
To that point, is to say that there's going to be a season. This is why life comes in these seasons. If you have to execute on a high level in a certain season of your life, like let's say you are between your 18 and 30, you push, you grind, you got no kids, you got no wife, you got none of that to stress about, think about, worry about. Then that's the season you really put in the time and the effort. So that when time comes for you to kind of bring the work-life balance, then all that 20 years or 15 years that you were building your empire, that you were building your organization, whatever it is that you were building, then you start now bringing in the balance. Because there you didn't have the kids and the wife that you had to now, hey, I must go home, I must go make sure I spend time with the wife, da-da-da. There it was like, so the nuance I'm bringing in is the thought process of seasons.
Seasons, 100%.
To say that, okay, what about if you sacrifice these 5 years as a season, even if you're already married, even if you already have kids, and you say, you sit your family down, you say, guys, Daddy's starting a new business, it's going to take Daddy a while to just da-da-da-da. I'm going to come home late, I'm going to push, I'm going to do this. But then still, you can still implement, okay, Saturdays for 3 hours, I'm taking my kids somewhere.
100%.
Or Saturday, I'm just going to be with the wife. Or Saturday in the night, when I come back from this thing, I'm sacrificing that time for the wife only. I'm not going to answer calls. I'm going to put my phone aside. I'm going to tell my assistant to take all the calls. I'll deal with it on Monday. So, you can still have that conversation with your family and say, guys, I'm building this thing. It's going to take a lot of time from me, but Saturdays is our time. Or this time and that time is going to be our time. Or at night when I come home, those 2 hours, it's our time. Or whatever. And then you can still bring in that balance. But then you must be intentional about the relationship.
I think that's the word, the intentionality of what you're doing. And I think for me, the essence of my message, and 100% spoken like a true wise man with years behind him, 100%. I think the essence is, and it just speaks about all these points that we're speaking about, the procrastination. A lot of people hide behind that or hide behind the balanced life, or you still need to have this in place, that in place. But the truth is, you're afraid of starting what you want to start.
Yeah, that's a different convo.
Yeah.
That's like you using that as an excuse because you actually don't want to execute on this.
So what
that's
you telling me
scenario.
as a balanced life and so forth on, and no, you need to also, the workout, play on. But if we really sit down one-on-one and we unpack certain things,
then you're going to come
like,
find out
you're
actually afraid to try.
Yeah.
Clayton, what's your thoughts there before we move on to point 4? We can do 5 points today.
No, I agree with what both of you were saying. Like there is a level of balance required. And remember, I'm a big advocate for seasons. Remember, every season of your life is different. It looks different. And there's different things that you do. If you don't have a girlfriend, you're a free agent. You can go with a gents, do whatever. You at the mall. When you do have a girlfriend, now you have to make time for quality time. And then that's just how the seasons progress in relationship, with a significant other. But the comfort zone is breaking the mentality of, okay, this that I have going here for me is working for me, and I don't need anything else. Yes, if you don't need anything else, then my bro, live in it. You are more than welcome to enjoy your comfort zone. But for everyone else, I think everyone has somewhere that they want to be, a higher level, a different level, here or there, or seeing this and that. So like your comfort zone is really holding you back from achieving that or reaching that. So like I would say breaking out of it is understanding where you are and balancing and maintaining things that are in your life currently. I would say it's breaking out of the mentality thinking that you are okay here.
Which brings us to point number 4, the negative self-talk, where you're telling yourself, I can't, I don't have enough money, I don't know the right people, I don't this and that and that.
Which a lot of the time is true, but that's not, you can't use that.
But sometimes you talk yourself out of things that you can actually do. And I found myself oftentimes where I'm in a privileged position where I do have access to people who get things done. I do have access to people on who are successful in what they do. Yeah. And then you got to ask yourself the question is, why are you downplaying yourself? Why are you not putting yourself in that same conversation? Why are you not, why don't you see yourself on that level as well? Because sometimes we innately downplay ourselves. We're like, hey, I don't have a degree now, and all these gents have degrees. You know, I don't have money in my account, and these gents are like millionaires now. And now you kind of, you know, self-sabotage yourself.
But when you have conversations with these people, though, these are the people that always have excuses for certain things that we put into place. Like, because we're in the space of the church, let me use that as an example. I've been in so much Ubers where the Uber driver's telling me about, no, I can worship God at home. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily need to be in the building where there's people. Not realizing that, and again, we from the church space, I'm going to speak about the church space, not realizing that, and we're not using the church space for that, but naturally it works out like that. If you look at the church space, bro, there's CEOs in the church, there's business owners, there's so many people that's in high ranking in the space and the spheres of life that they at the moment. And that negative self-talk can literally disappear the more you find yourself in those spaces.
Yeah, because now that begins to speak about influence. People you're surrounding yourself with, the conversations that are happening in the spaces that you're in. Like today after this, I have another meeting with somebody that's doing well in their space. And straight after that, another. So today I have 2 back-to-back meetings. People who are very successful in their lives. And if I'm spending time with these people all the time, it's inevitable that
100%.
at some point things have to.
But this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say is that you speak of the word privilege, which has a factor to this whole situation that we're speaking about, the privilege of having those people. But I can't, or the regular Sompo Joe can't now look at that and say, yeah, it's because of that. But there's a factor that I just mentioned now that is 100% also the truth. You can also participate in the game. And I've seen that serving, bro.
Opens doors.
Serving opens a tremendous amount of doors. So
serving,
there's no excuse.
Basically puts you in the same conversation. Clayton knows also serving puts you in the same conversation. Serving puts you in the lounge. The lounge puts you in the same place where these conversations are happening. Serving puts you
in the driving to the airport, dropping the speaker,
precisely,
the keynote speaker,
which gives you an hour alone with a keynote speaker in the car. My bro, that's in the same opportunities. I'm saying I'm having an hour's meeting with a guy at Wimpy. You can serve to say, Pastor, I'll drop the business guy at the airport. That's your hour at Wimpy, bro, in the car.
Wimpy. True.
Free.
A free hour.
Just some gas, but it's free.
You see what I'm saying, bro? It really depends on how you play it. And you can play it that way. And serving does open those doors. Serving puts you in a room where everyone else is. You serve. I was watching something where Martin Luther King Jr. says that if you're going to sweep the streets, be the best street sweeper in the world.
1000%.
Let somebody drive past and say, here lives the best street sweeper to ever grace this earth.
1000%.
What does that mean? That means, bruh, that even the president of the country is gonna say, hey, who's this? Oh, that takes so much pride in sweeping the streets. Can we bring him here to come sweep at the White House? Then next thing you in the White House from sweeping streets. Next thing you're having convos with people, high level conversations. Next
100%.
Thing, because your mindset is like, whatever I do, I have to do it to the best of my ability.
Our beloved friend that cuts hair, that's part of Legends Barber now, what we deem as menial. You're just cutting hair, cutting the Owens hair and so forth.
Now he has a multi-million rand business around the world.
I will take that menial.
From cutting hair in his mother's backyard. We had him on the show. But again, do what you do. Do it to the best of your ability. Next thing you know, doors are opening. Next thing you know, things are happening. Please, do you want to jump in there?
No. I'm listening.
So for me, yeah, bro, it's a matter of...
Yeah, bro, I don't think... And I do understand that life can bring curveballs and challenges and so forth on. But we're living in an info world. I don't think you should get to a point where you negative self-talk yourself.
Probably living
with
in a
the-
world
with
where
the
you can go.
info world, with the platforms, the advent of social media, the advent of so many things that's being put into place, the advent of connectivity. It's
Bro, you can
It's
you
just
can go
so,
you
so
can go
much.
sit at a restaurant with free Wi-Fi on your 200 rand of Android phone. Then you have the internet, you have a phone, you have whatever, and you can figure out how to do something. You can download videos, you can do something, bruh. Even if you don't have the means, it will, like you're saying, we're living in a world where in a mall there's free Wi-Fi. You can go sit somewhere for an hour and order a juice, a 20 rand juice, and just sit there and go into the Wi-Fi. You can make a plan, bro. You can come up with a plan. So again, I think your negative self-talk is the issue. Let's go to point number 5. We'll end it off on point number 5. But comparing yourself to others, I think I've seen people mess their lives up by this thing.
Clayton?
Worried about what other people are doing, worried about what people are posting on social media, worried about what they're going to say about you. I know people personally that their lives are in such a mess today because of worrying about other people's, what other people are going to think about them or what other people are going to say about them, or making decisions based on wanting to spite other people or show other people, I can also do this. And you put yourself in debt. You do things that's like, why did I get myself involved in this topic? Basically, the keeping up with the Joneses conversation.
Yeah, that's the best example. It will always be the best example for comparing yourself to anyone else. Remember, all of us have individual grace for individual tasks. No one has the same grace as someone there. You see Cyril Ramaphosa, comparing myself, I can do a better job. My bro, there's grace that goes into what he's doing. You look at the pastor on stage, I have a better word than him. My bro, go there. There's different graces in different places. So whenever you start to compare yourself, remember this. God placed you for where you need to be and where you need to go with the grace for it. And
100%.
the person that you're comparing yourself with, that person has grace for where they are. Yes, you might be able to get there one day, but remember, the roads are never the same. So if you comparing yourself now, my word is, my brother, stop it. Focus on yourself. Look at what you are doing rather than looking outside of what you are doing, and fix what you can fix that's in your capability, and then
In your
move
power
on
and your
from
means.
that. Because as long as I look at, no, that man drives this, that he wears this man is doing, my bro, I'm never going to work on what I have, because now it plays back to all of the other ones. The negative self-talk comes back. It's like, okay, they have what I don't have. I want that, but I don't have the money. I don't have the strength. I don't have the connections. That's what happens when you start comparing yourself to other people. Like I said in the beginning, there's a grace for everything.
But Clayton, you
But,
bring up an interesting
yeah.
point, sorry, about that grace for the actual task, right? And that is a very, very interesting interesting point, because the truth of the matter is that I've heard multiple times, and even in the example that you make, I can also run this, I can also do this. Then I say to you, okay, go and start your own thing and go and run your own thing. I'll speak from a point of a pastor, right? So obviously I'm second generation, so there's a lot of things.
That goes for business as well,
For
because a
everything.
lot of people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm speaking from my perspective, from the space that I'm familiar with. But obviously I'm second generation, so there's things that my father had to break, and I don't have to go and start over. I don't have to go and hire a building. I don't have to hire sound. I don't have to buy chairs. There's a lot of things that guys that are starting from zero has to do from scratch now that I don't have to do. I can just move from this level onto the next
There
level.
was a classroom, there was a tent,
There was a tent,
smaller
there was
building,
hiring of
there
sound,
was
there
all
was
of those
buying of
things.
chairs. All those things happened, right? But so I come in, and that's how God wants it to be, that generational blessing, right? And so I come in on a second generation of blessing now from that space. But now I'm saying that now there's people that, and I've had these conversations. There was a time where I was very frustrated where I was 2 years ago. I was very frustrated with the lack of growth in my life. I was very irritated with why am I not where I thought I could be or where I should have been, or because in your mind you have this like kind of time zone of like, okay, by this time I want to achieve this, by this time I want to be here. And sometimes when those time zones don't get met, You sit there thinking, "Ash, bruh, I should have been further," and then you put that kind of pressure on yourself also to want to do more, right? And then somebody came to me, and I'll never forget this. And the guy said to me, "Zakes, just go start your own thing once," right? And I said to the person, "My bro, it's not just so easy to go start your own thing. It's not just about, I also, like Clayton said, I also have a word. I'm also anointed by God. I'm also blessed. I can also do this. I'm also a good speaker. I can also draw a crowd." It's not just about going to start your own thing. Do you know what it's like to start from scratch? Do you know what it's like to, like I said, go and hire chairs? Do you know what it's like to go and hire a building somewhere? Do you know what it's like to go and hire sound somewhere? Do you know what it's like to get put out of a building?
I think also,
Do you know how
apologies,
much it costs?
I think you also have to get to the point of the genuine motive behind that,
But
because
that's what I'm saying.
God can place a vision or a design in your heart too.
But what's your
to run.
motive?
But if the motive
Is to
is
spite.
based off of, yeah, they're not seeing me,
So I'm going to go do my
so
own
let me
thing.
the
So
motive.
your motive is wrong. But here's my thing. When you get there, and here's what a lot of people, bro, we've been in ministry for over 30 years. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it in my father's time, and I've seen it in my own time. I've been running full time 15 years now. I've seen it in his time and in my time. I've seen people come back. I've heard them while I was in the room, or some of them even to me in my face. "I'm sorry, Pastor. I went out there. I went to go try this thing, and I realized, it's not so easy. It comes with a lot of stress. It comes with this. It comes with that." So you sitting there comparing yourself to someone. "I could have done better. I would have been further. Why don't you rather do it like this? I could have this. I could have that." But when you get out there and go and do it, then you realize, this is untidy. This is hard. This is difficult.
Again, a lot of people don't see the behind the scenes. They just see the 2 hours on a Sunday and they're like, "Yo, this looks nice."
But even with the CEO, why does he run his thing like that? Why is he buying himself that car? I can also just, so if you can also, then go and
Then do
also. Because when you get there, you're going to realize, this is not actually that easy. This is actually not so simple. The people are not taking my calls. I need to, because you remember, bruh, the person that's getting the results has built up a history and a track record and a reputation over time where people can trust. Bruh, if I go into a conversation now, I can make big moves because people trust me. People have seen me for 15 years. People know Zakes, when he says he's going to do something, he puts his money where his mouth is. This man is going to be there if he says he's going to come, right? But it's a reputation I've built over 15 years. People have seen me move in factory. People have seen me where I move and how I move. People know. Verse 0 says this, there's a reputation that needs to be upheld here, because we can turn around and say, how can us, man? He promised this, but he didn't fulfill on his promise. He said he was going to do this, but he didn't. So there has to be a promise that needs to be upheld.
But that reputation, again, comes back to the points that we're speaking about now. The reputation and the trust is built over what? A period of time again. And that's time of toiling, that's time of triumph, that's
Struggling,
time of failure, that's time of late nights, that's time of car breaking down, no gas money, no this, no that, but still pulling through, still making it happen. That when you get to this point now, it's like the story of the guy that literally just had to knock the one side of the ship by just a small knock, and the thing started working again. And the
I think
guys,
for the sake of
and
the viewers, just explain that story quickly, bro, in the quickest way you can.
No, 100%. So there was obviously a problem at the side of the ship where the owner of the ship needed someone to come and sort that out for the functionality to take place. And when he got the specific person to come in there, he just took out a small tool, and it was a quick knock on the side that had to be done for the thing to start working. So the one guy looked and was like, "Oh, you're paying so much funds. I could have then done that," but not knowing that the pressure, the amount, the timing, all those things was the hard work, was the toil, was the 15, 20, 30 years behind him of experience. So what you think is just a small knock, truth be told, if you come and do the same thing, if the pressure is just a little bit more hard, it breaks the whole thing.
But yes, the one of the other big highlights, the stories that or lessons that you can take from that particular story is also that the years of experience that this other guy had, that the mechanic had, It came with, he knew where to knock. Now, you could have spent a lot more if you were to first take out, let's say it was an issue with an engine. Now you take out the engine, now you replace the pistons, now you change the oil, now you do this, you do that. Now you end up spending 2 million rand on fixing the problem, and you still don't know what the problem is. But because the guy that has 15, 20, 30 years of experience in fixing these engines, he says, start it, let me hear. Oh, okay. It sounds like a whatever.
That problem, yeah.
And then he goes directly to the problem. He solves the problem, and then you say, bruh, if it was only a 15 rand problem, I could have more solved it. But you didn't know. That's that 18 years of 20 years or 30 years experience that guy has in the game that made him understand that this sound means that it's this problem. You don't have 20 years. You're not paying for the 5 minutes that he came there to solve the problem. You're paying for the 30 years of experience.
Coming back to our space that we're in production, and let's just take one element out of it, which is the video editing. It's so much years of building up templates, of knowing typography, of knowing all these things that in a 1 minute video that can take me a couple of hours now to quickly finish, that someone will be like, yo, how long does it take you that? Yo, just so quick. Am I paying over, let's say, argument's sake, 5K or 7K just for that thing? Not knowing that this typography and templates that were built here is years
even in that space
of hard work.
Even in the production space, I think you and I had this conversation not so long ago where somebody asked me to assist him in production. And I was explaining to you that, sometimes people don't understand exactly that point that you just made. How about Zakes, it's only taking you a day, or it's taking you an hour.
We're coming to record in 30 minutes and then
you leave. It's like, brother, is that all it took? That's not all it took. Now you must remember, and that's what I told you. Personally, I'm speaking for myself. I have years of knowing how the audience responds. This is why even when you do a production, or when Clayton does a production, we sit down and we say, gents, what do you think the audience is going to do? What do you think the audience how do you think they're going to respond? Do you think this is emotional enough? Do you think this is exciting enough? Do you think this is this and this? We sitting there with 15 years of the audience is going to respond here. How many times do we sit and edit something, brother? Then I tell you, people are going to cry for this. People are going to laugh for this. People are going to this. And then on the day when we're playing it, exactly when that point gets, everyone laughs. Then I tell you what I tell you, bro. Then people cry.
Yo, have a breather here. Have a breather, then start the song. But I have that moment of...
For people to think. And now that comes from years of doing it and knowing what. Now you come here yesterday, but I can do this. There's an AI that can also do this. There's a this that can also... Yeah, that AI doesn't know the audience. They don't know the flavor, the emotions, the texture. And then it just looks generic. It looks like... you see? So again... It's the behind the scenes time and effort. So you comparing yourself to somebody and you're not understanding that this person is in a different, like Clayton was saying earlier, they're on a different trajectory. There's a different grace for that thing that they're involved in. And this is why we need one another.
True.
You good at that, I'm good at this, Clayton's good at that. And together, we a power team. See?
Makes a mean team.
Makes a mean team. All right, closing thoughts on your side, Jen?
My closing thoughts would, and I always go back to the scripture, is that Jesus endured the cross because of the joy set before him. And again, that joy set before him is the vision, it's the purpose behind what you're doing. If you don't have that in place, your vision and your purpose, you won't be able to endure what you're going through. Our Lord and Savior went through all of that knowing exactly this is going to be the outcome. So all those late nights, that hard work, that toiling, that suffering, that triumph, victory, failure, all of those things, you can endure because of the joy set before you, which is that vision. At some point, you're going to take off and say, wow, by the grace of God, I got here because of the beautiful journey.
Dope. Clayton?
I would say anytime you find yourself stuck on one of these points, make it your goal to get out of your situation, even if it's just taking a bus, a taxi, or a train to a place that you've never been. It doesn't have to be too far. And then just sit, look from the outside, take a moment, look from the outside, look in, and see what you can change. And that's going to help you because you need a different perspective, because a lot of the time it's a mentality. It's a mind thing. And if you can overcome the mind thing, then you can start doing the action steps to get yourself to where you need to be.
100%.
True. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating in the conversation today. As you know that we're on this theme now of just how do we better ourselves, how do we, see the blind spots in our lives, how do we make sure that we're achieving our dreams, our goals. And every week we just been dropping some nuggets as to say, okay, right, look out for this, watch out for that, don't do this, rather do it this way. And I'm going to start bringing some guests onto the show. I actually wanted to bring someone today, but I'm going to start bringing some guests onto the show that are successful in what they do. They can give us some serious nuggets as to how to actually do this thing. And so, yeah, let's do it. Looking forward to the next show. I love you guys. Thank you for participating. Please do share this video. Also, please do like and subscribe to our channel. I think we are on 7,000 subs. Thank you so much for everyone that subs. I'll see you guys on the next one. Love you. Goodbye.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world.
And then Jay just put your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro.